Okay. Welcome to episode 11 of Smitty's Endurance Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Smith. I'd like to welcome onto the show today Jorden Wakeley. Jorden is a 31-year-old elite endurance athlete from Lovells, Michigan. It's quite challenging to highlight Jorden's sporting achievements because there are so many. Here are a few, though. He was the two-time Arrowhead 135 winner and was the youngest ever to win and has the course record. In 2018, he was the AuSable Marathon Mixed Division winner with Haley Halstead. He's the two-time Fat Bike Birkie winner, which is the largest snow-fat bike race in the world. He won the Tuscobia 160, which is an ultra mountain bike race, and again, the youngest and has the course record. He's the Ore-to-Shore mountain bike epic winner. And if all that weren't enough, he's won several cross-country ski races, some run races, and even a top finish at an elite Spartan race. Jorden, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Geez, I'm kind of out of breath there mentioning some of your accolades.
Takes me back. Each one of those races has, like, I can go right back to that exact moment of that. Kind of got chills.
Oh, right on. How'd the mountain bike race go yesterday?
It went well. Got the W, but some young kids, 18, 20 years old, they made me work for it. So okay. Came down to a three-way sprint, but yes, I outfoxed them. So
right on. There you go. Yeah. Starting to use some veteran some moves there, eh?
Tactics, yeah. It all come down to smarts yesterday.
Yeah, sweet. Well, hey, Jorden, I'd like to kind of take things back a bit, and maybe if you could tell us a bit about where you live, what you do for work, maybe a bit about your family and your upbringing.
Yeah, obviously 31 years old, live in Grayling, been here all my whole life. I work at Northbound Outfitters. Pretty blessed to have this job. It's kind of a perfect fit for me, bikes and skis and paddling. My family's got a rich history in the Grayling area. Obviously, Wakeley Bridge, Wakeley Lake. We go back a long time, so yeah.
Sweet. So what about your upbringing? Do you how did you kind of get into some of these endurance sports, or what other sports did you play growing up?
I was really into soccer when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. And I kind of thought that was going to be it for me, way into soccer. And I found running, did a few local running races, did pretty good at those. And then, just being a kid and riding my bike everywhere, before I had a car. And I started to find out I was pretty fast, and I could, when I was 12, 13 years old, I'd drive to my grandma's house and back. It'd be 40 miles. And, these other kids are like, whoa, you rode your bike that far. And then I entered a bike race and did pretty good. And my seventh grade science teacher, though, I tell this to everybody, he's the one that got me into mountain biking. So we'd be sitting in science class, and I'd grab a mountain bike magazine off his desk, and everybody else is doing their classwork, and I'm sitting there reading his mountain bike magazines, and he'd get on me pretty good. But Brad Wagner, my seventh grade science teacher, really got me into mountain biking. So awesome. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, right on. So Jorden, wanted to ask you, what do you think allows you to, be good at all of these endurance sports? I mean, what do you feel is kind of your gift there that you're able to bring to all those?
I honestly don't know. It's just, I think if you do something enough, you're going to be good at it. And I don't like losing. That's another big thing. So, I mean, if I kind of set my mind to something I know I want to do, and I push myself to get there, and, I put the time and work into it. And I think that's the biggest part. Consistency.
Yeah, right on. What about, are there any endurance sports out there that you haven't tried yet that you're maybe looking forward to maybe trying someday?
Shoot. Not really. I mean, between paddling and running and, mountain biking, I think that's pretty much covered for me. I've talked to some of the paddlers about the Texas Water Safari, and that's definitely something on my bucket list eventually. But those guys are, from the stories I've heard, that they're tough as they come. So.
And that's coming up fairly soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be anything this year. I've been invited down, in years past. It just hasn't worked out with my race schedule.
Yeah.
So hopefully eventually soon.
Yeah. So Jorden, maybe talk to us a little bit about some of these different events that you've done. If you have a favorite, maybe toss that out there, but then maybe walk us through a few of your favorites and why you like those particular races.
So we have a triple crown of mountain biking here in the Midwest. Chequamegon 40, Iceman, and then Ore to Shore. So they're all point-to-point races. They're all about 1.5 to 2.5 hours long. That's kind of my forte. They're not very technical. They're just fast. They require a lot of power. I've won Ore to Shore. I've been on the podium at Chequamegon. Then Iceman is, everybody knows Iceman, even if you're not a bike racer. It's, the largest point-to-point race in the country, and it's pretty much in my backyard. So, it draws Olympic level athletes. And but my favorite race is probably Ore to Shore. It's up in Marquette, beginning of August. I love Marquette. Anybody that's been in Marquette knows it's the ultimate, especially if you're a mountain biker. And then on the paddling side of things, obviously the AuSable Marathon. The challenge of night paddling and growing up on the AuSable, and just the stories and memories. And
yeah, awesome. So Jorden, I'm sure there's quite a few athletes that you've learned from over the years. Maybe want to talk to us a little bit about maybe a few of those people who you've learned from over the years.
Yeah, there's definitely a ton. Too many to list. But on the mountain bike side, Jack Klein, he was a TC guy. I road tripped with him a few times cross country to mountain bike nationals. Ron Sanborn, same thing. When I was just starting out, they'd take me under the wing and take me out on 5-6 hour bike rides and get me ready for, the 100-mile races. The canoeing side, Jack Kolka, Jeff Kolka, the whole Kolka family. It's obviously, their name, they've been there, done it, and they know everything about it. So, and Tim Treebold, really, he helped me out a lot with the cross country skiing, and the results last winter really show that. So,
yeah, awesome. So Jorden, earlier you mentioned, the fact that you're able to, spend the time with your training. What, if you had to narrow your training philosophy down, could you maybe describe that a little bit?
Yeah. Quality over quantity for me. I'm not the kind of guy that could go out and do, 25 hours a week on the bike. I've tried it. I've super burned out, didn't want to ride my bike anymore. So now it's kind of, I'll ride 5-6 days a week, but 10 hours tops. Just if I'm on the bike, I'm out there, doing a specific workout, making it count. I'm not just out there paddling. It's kind of the same thing with paddling too. I do a lot of 10 to hour and a half long paddles. You've got to do the 4 or 5 hour paddles, obviously, but those are, I'm not doing those every day or not even every week. So,
yeah. So it sounds like, you're just, I've heard this before on the podcast from some other people too, just making sure you have a plan and sticking to it.
Exactly. Yep. Right. Again, goes back to consistency.
Yeah. So Jorden, I'm sure with winning, it seems like anyone who's winning these races, be it whatever endurance sport it is, they're pretty tough people when it comes to, the mental side of things. What, could you maybe share a mental tip that you use to help you with some of these, to be successful at some of these races?
Just depends on the race. Any race over 3 hours, you're always going to have a low spot, and you just got to know that, hey, it's going to get better after that. And longer races like the AuSable or, a 24-hour mountain bike race, there's going to be multiples. I always have a mantra, it's going to get better. So if you're feeling like crap, just, keep going, 10 more miles and you're going to feel better eventually. So,
yeah. So what about the technical side of things? Maybe just talk about the mountain biking specifically. What is something that maybe you could share with the listeners to help them be successful with mountain biking?
The biggest thing is smooth. It's kind of like that in everything. Everybody's different, but the smoother you are, the more efficient you are, the less energy you're wasting. But it's definitely different, just like paddling. Everybody's got their own, paddling stroke technique, but smooth. And especially in mountain biking, I mean, sometimes you see these pictures of people, holding onto the handlebars and they're just gripping it so tight, and every muscle in their arms like popping out and stuff like that. And you're actually using more energy holding onto the handlebars that tight. I just talked to Jeff Kolke there probably a week ago, and holding on to that paddle too. You don't need to hold on to the paddle like a hammer, as he would say. I mean, you want a loose grip on it, but smooth. Being smooth is the biggest thing, and a lot of stuff I'm far from smooth. But you look at these top guys like Andy or Jeff or Mike Davis in the canoe. I mean, they're so smooth.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So what about equipment? Maybe talk to us a bit about some of the different equipment that you're using. I think you're sponsored by Giant. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep. I ride for Giant bicycles, and very fortunate with that.
Yeah. So what, I guess maybe specifically, some people, when they're starting out, it's pretty overwhelming when you're trying to purchase equipment. So what would be maybe something that you could share that maybe helps someone starting out as they're looking for some of this equipment?
With Giant, I'm lucky enough to have a bike for pretty much every race or every condition. So that's not an issue for me, but I mean, tires are a big thing. People that have been in my house know I have a dedicated room next to my living room that's full of bike tires for literally every kind of condition or terrain. I guess the biggest thing with buying a bike, if you're just starting out, is, don't go cheap, because you get what you pay for, just like anything else. I mean, $600-700, you're into a good bike. It's like anything. So,
yeah. So, I imagine at some point, hopefully you haven't, but have you had any injuries that you've had to work through?
I've been pretty fortunate that I haven't.
Okay.
I really listen to my body, and burnout, that's a big thing, especially when you're training really hard for something, especially for most endurance athletes when they're training 12 months out of the year, almost 365 days a year. You really got to listen to your body. And being an endurance athlete, your head's always going to say go, but your muscles might not. So it's sometimes it's harder for me. And I know there's other people out there to not, take a rest day instead of going out there and pushing through it and actually digging yourself farther in the hole.
Yeah. What about, do you do any, strength training or, any other, recovery type things that might help you stay healthy?
It's either, I'm either on the bike, paddling. I really dislike running, as much as I hate to admit it, but, I don't stretch as much as I need to, which I should. But I never lift any weights. I haven't lifted weights in 10 plus years since high school. And being a mountain biker, I want to be, as small and lean as possible. And I try not to pack on the muscle weight. Paddling kind of does that enough for me. So I don't lift any weights. I do. I mean, a lot of people know this about me. I do cut a lot of firewood. I split a lot by hand, and that's physical enough. And that's what I consider my gym work. So.
Yeah, no, that's hard work. The few times I've done it, for sure.
Yeah.
So Jorden, what about nutrition on some of these longer events? Do you have kind of a go-to thing that you eat or drink on some of these long mountain bike or canoe races? I kind of like everybody else. I do Perpetuum for anything over 3 hours. And then Coke, I drink a lot of, in races, I do a lot of sugary stuff, which is probably not the best for you, but Coke diluted with water.
And there's so much nutrition stuff out there that I'm always kind of experimenting with it, but perpetuum seems to work really good for me.
Okay. Jorden, can you talk to us about some of your goals for the upcoming season?
Just to be healthy is the biggest thing, but fingers crossed the DeSable Marathon does happen. That's the big goal for the year. I kind of mountain bike racing is taking a backseat this year for me, and I'm putting most of my time into paddling. So I'm really hoping that we're able to race in July. But otherwise, I mean, Iceman, mountain bike wise, Iceman, or to shore. We're going to Pennsylvania in 3 weeks for a 3-day stage race, mountain bike stage race. So that'll be pretty cool. And then, but canoeing for me is going to be pretty much the goal for the season.
Okay. So what's motivating you to want to focus on that this year?
I've raced bikes for almost 16 years now, 16 years straight in the last probably 6 or 7 has been 12 months out of the year with fat bikes, and I'm kind of getting to that burnout stage of it. And I love being on the river. I love paddling, and I think there's opportunity for some new faces up towards the top of these races, and I think with enough hard work and that I can get there, and some other up and comers are going to be there too, and it's nice to see that. So
yeah. Now, who did I see correctly? Are you planning on racing with Matt Mearsman then?
I am Matt Mearsman for the marathon, and actually most of the smaller Michigan races too. So
okay. Well, geez, I think you guys will certainly have a great shot at any race you guys enter for sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited for. Matt and I did a race probably 7 or 8 years ago, and okay. He's such a great guy, super easy to get along with, and he's got the results, and biggest thing, he's super easy to get along with. I mean, he's always smiley and happy, and I don't know if I could ever be mad at him. So he's a cool guy.
Yeah, awesome. Well, good luck there. Hey, so I like to usually finish just by kind of doing a little section where we do some rapid fire questions. So there'll be like 5 questions and just be real short answers.
Okay.
So what's something that scares Jorden Wakeley?
Snakes. I do not do snakes. No snakes at all.
All right. Yeah, that's right in line with my wife there. She that's about her most thing that she's scared of. What's something fun that you do outside of these endurance sports?
I love good craft beer. I love good coffee, good food, and deer hunting. I love deer hunting. So October through November, I'm in the deer woods.
Okay, awesome. What about, do you have a favorite book that you've read lately?
I wish I could say yeah, but I haven't. I've as much time as I've spent training or at work, I haven't had time.
Yeah, I hear you. I wish I had more time to read too. What about, do you have a favorite training session?
On the mountain bike, it's 2x20. So just like it says, 20 minutes as hard as you can go, 20 minutes recovery, 20 minutes as hard as you can go. So.
Okay. What about your least favorite training session?
The long ones, the 5-6 hour, either bike rides or paddles. So yeah. They've got to be done, but I don't like doing them.
Right. Fair enough. So Jorden, lastly, just want to give an opportunity if you want to give a shout out to, any sponsors or other people who have helped you, along your endurance journey.
My family, my parents. I mean, when I was growing up, they sacrificed a lot to get me to all these, national level bike races. And I mean, it was never a question. I'd be like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'd go to Wisconsin this weekend. There's a big race over there. They'd take the time off of work, get me over there. Obviously northbound, I've got a pretty sweet schedule here. I can go when I want to go. I can leave early to go train if the weather's crappy, super cool about that. And then obviously, my sponsors, Giant Bicycles, Shimano Components. I've met a lot of cool people through Northbound in the last 3.5 years, whether it be reps or whatever. And that's huge in the sporting world. I mean, you can, get to know them, and they get you product to try. And it's been a huge help for me. I mean, everybody knows endurance sports, mountain biking, paddling, it's expensive. So any little bit helps, and it definitely goes a long ways.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jorden, thanks so much for your time. I know listeners will really enjoy this, and best of luck to you this year.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Have a good evening.
Same.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.